All right, for the chairman of the United Bank for Africa, Mr. Tony Elumelu, he also celebrated his 55th birthday in his own unique way.
On March the 22nd, 1963, precisely 55 years ago, the chairman of United Bank of Africa, Mr. Tony Elumelu, was born. Apart from being the chairman of UBA, Mr. Elumelu is a Nigerian economist, entrepreneur and philanthropist who's the chairman of Heirs Holdings, Transcorp and founder of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. Over the years, Mr. Tony Elumelu has contributed greatly to the development of the nation. His passion for a more prosperous Nigeria and Africa has never been in doubt. This he has shown by empowering young African men and women across the 54 countries on the continent through the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program.
When we launched the $100 million entrepreneurship program, we said it's for 10 years, 1,000 every year, and that constrains the number that we can take on. But there's good news which I will share soon, because people are beginning to embrace this new model and supporting it. People are beginning to see it as a way to ultimately develop our continent.
Certainly, the development of the continent has remained his ultimate goal, and on his birthday, Mr. Elumelu is celebrating, amongst other things, the positive impact the foundation has had and will continue to have on the continent.
So these young Africans is not just a birthday, it's the beginning of a new phase in their lives, because they want to become entrepreneurs. They want to help to develop Africa. And what the announcement they have gotten is that they've been selected and they will go through the 12-week training program, the Tony Elumelu Foundation, which prepares like 12-week MBA program on entrepreneurship. They will appoint mentors for them from across the world who help them. They will get networking opportunities and platform, and they will get seed capital of $5,000 at the end of the training program. So this marks a new journey in their life, and that to me is what we're actually celebrating today.
This is the fourth cycle of the program, which started off in 2015, and the good news from Mr. Elumelu is that partners like the International Committee of the Red Cross, the United Nations Development Programme and Indorama have joined hands with the foundation to support an additional 250 beneficiaries, bringing the number of beneficiaries to 1,250. Some of the past beneficiaries are present here, and they shared their success story in the presence of all these impressed dignitaries.
Because we noticed that all the women, they don't want business, they don't want money to do business, we opened up a factory that employs only low-income women, a dishwashing soap factory that employs currently 10 women. And last week, we got a partnership with the Edo State government through Edo Jobs to open up another factory in Edo State starting from next month, where we'll be employing low-income women in Edo State. So for me, if not for the Tony Elumelu Foundation, there will be no Mama Money, and I'm Mr. Tony Elumelu's baby.
Today, I can say with an evidence that I make 3 million on a monthly basis. Just processing cashew, because the seed capital enabled me to be able to purchase a smoking kiln, and I've been able to empower 5 women just doing that because they could not have money to go and buy the fresh fish and smoke it and then sell. Now what we just do basically, I'm the CEO and founder of AgriWorld Up. What we just did that once we finish processing, we just give it to them, go and sell, give us our own money and get your own money. Simple.
We went into welding and fabrication, pipe fitting, process instrument calibration, valve testing, procurement. Right now we work for Coca-Cola, we work for Dangote, we work for Krones, we work for Pabot Brewery, we work for Interfab Beverages. We have a total employee, full-time staff right now, 12. We have 18 contract staff. We moved to a new office. We're opening a new branch.
Over 55,000 jobs and counting have been created by the foundation, and it's a feat worth celebrating, especially as the Visionnaire also marks his 55th birthday.
This year we're going to be producing, we didn't start monitoring and evaluating them in year one. We know, having been a startup ourselves in terms of launching this program, that you don't start measuring, but you start learning as a result of taking that first step. The first step was an idea, a vision. The second step was the operationalization of that idea and vision. In 2016, we applied a lot of that learning in the 2015, there are many 2015 alumni here. But there's the greatest joy is that every single entrepreneur that we speak to, and what you've seen is just a small reflection of the thousands across 54 African countries.
The partnership, marks quite a lot of discussion that we had beforehand, but it was very clear to us that partnering with the Tony Elumelu Foundation would be a privilege.
After the speeches, it's time to let their hair down. And Mr. P was in the building to add some fun to the occasion.
With what he's doing, man, we need more people like you, and I pray God will keep you alive so that you see the result of what you're doing, especially for the youths in Africa.
For the celebrant, who was recognized as one of Africa's 20 most powerful people in 2012 by Forbes magazine, this celebration is worth more than a party.
Today, the Tony Elumelu Foundation announced 1,250 young African men and women that we are going to support with the sum of $5,000 each. This will go a long way in helping to transform our continent. This will go a long way in helping to economically empower these people, who in turn will help to create employment, alleviate poverty, and help to catalyze the economic development of Africa.
Launched in 2015, the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is one of the largest African philanthropic initiatives devoted to entrepreneurship and represents their 10-year, $100 million commitment to identify and empower 10,000 African entrepreneurs, create millions of jobs, and add $10 billion in revenue to Africa's economy.